welcome back to the Silent Beauty Doctor here on YouTube. And in today's video, Whitney is going to be talking to us about not only her hyperpigmentation and what she did to clear it, but she also has rosacea, which is a condition that you don't hear about from too many people of color, but we can get that rosacea. So Whitney's going to be talking to us about how she deals with her rosacea, how maskne and her cystic acne and the rosacea and everything just kind of made like this perfect storm that turned her into a skincare fanatic that allowed her to learn what to do to deal with her skin. Now you know you want to watch this because it's chock full of information, and Whitney is an actress, so she's extremely entertaining, so keep watching. Now let me tell you, this is my favorite series on this channel for a reason, because not only do I get to talk to you guys who watch the channel, but also because, you know, you're able to sit at home and learn and understand it. It feels more like a community here. So if you want to be in this series, you want to come on this channel and tell everyone how you got rid of your hyperpigmentation, please check out the description box because there'll be information on how you can contact me so we can get something scheduled. And let's talk to Whitney.
What caused it in the first place?
Yeah, it was a mixture of a couple of things. I feel like maybe starting about 4 or 5 years ago, I started to have some more severe hormonal acne. And by severe, I mean just cystic acne would pop up more often. And I was one of those like teenagers that I had clear skin. All of my I never had a pimple as a teenager. Early 20s, never had a pimple. Perfect clear skin. I didn't even know that I had perfect. I look back now and I'm like, oh my gosh, how did this happen? But it was really interesting. Like my late 20s, I started to have some hormonal acne, and so I started dealing with it then, but not really dealing with it. And then got into some high stress work situations, and it exasperated. And then at the start of the pandemic, really about a year into the pandemic, or no, maybe 6 months or so, because I had to go back to work in person again, and wearing the mask mixed with, I hadn't really dealt with all of the hormonal acne issues. My skin just blew up, and I feel like not being outside as much, I didn't get as tan as usual because we'd been inside from the pandemic, so I could really see the hyperpigmentation more than usual. And I was like, oh no, this is much, I've been ignoring this issue for a while. And then I also suffer from rosacea from time to time. So it was kind of all of those things happening at one time, and it came to an apex fall of 2020.
But you just said something that I have been wanting to talk about on the channel more. And you said that you deal with rosacea. Typically not a skin issue that we typically hear Black people talk about. So how did what was that like? Did you get diagnosed? What's it like treating it? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, after I just bragged about my excellent teenage skin, I remember the first time I saw, and it was right here in the temples. And my mom had me do a pageant when I was a teenager, the first and the last. And I remember getting little, and I'm like, what are these dots? What are these dots right here? They're kind of itchy and red. And, over time they went away, and I never thought about it again. And then again, jumped to about 10 years later in my late 20s with the high stress and just so much going on in work, I started to get just terrible rashes here, all across the forehead, the temples again. And I was like, what is this? And I was trying putting, chamomile on it. I didn't know, putting aloe, because I truly didn't know what it was. And I said, I think I need to go see a dermatologist, because these aren't, if I'm putting my acne treatment on it, it's getting worse. It's itching, and it would turn into almost like an eczema if I didn't treat it right away. It would get really dry and scabby, and then everything would sting. Everything would sting. Face wash would sting, lotion would sting, serums would sting, SPF would sting. So it got I got very kind of in a bad situation with it, and ended up finding a dermatologist that I really liked. And she was like, oh no, that's rosacea. We're gonna have to go ahead and treat that. Yeah. And so it's funny now that I know kind of what I know now on this long journey. She gave me Metro cream. I don't know the exact, I have it right here. It's Metro metronidazole topical cream.
Mhm.
We call it Metro cream in the like rosacea community.
Yeah.
And that's for people that tend to have kind of like the drier skin situation. And it can be treated like orally and different things like that. But that cream really helped to get, I think, my skin barrier back
Yeah.
under control. I don't think I realized I had reached that trying so many different things. And
Mm.
so, yeah, it was unusual because it wasn't red, and that's what in lighter skin tones, that's what they see. That's the first, acknowledgement. But I was lucky I had a dermatologist that was like, oh no, that's rosacea.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe it's something else. It's like, no, it's rosacea.
Yeah. And the thing is, in the comments in a recent video, I can't remember which video it was, someone had mentioned that, they're fair skinned African American and they have rosacea. And it was like a journey even to get it diagnosed, because she would say,
Right.
like, family members and friends would be like, oh, you're so cute, your skin is flushed, or you're blushing, or they would say stuff like that. And she was like, no, my skin is like irritated and ouch. But then she finally, was able to go to a dermatologist and get it diagnosed and, get treatment. So that's definitely something that I'm glad that you were able to come here and talk about, because it doesn't get
Yes.
talked about very often,
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great to talk about it because it's just what you said. And I had friends too. Oh, you just got to scrub your skin really hard. You need a scrub. You got to clean out all the dirt. That's like, I think that's something we're always trying to do. It's like clean, 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 over
Oh
clean. And I was
my
like,
gosh, yeah.
no, it hurts. It hurts. Like it feels like so tender, and I can't touch it. I can't put anything, like just water.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, and we'd all be like, what is this? I really didn't have anybody in my circle that had it. So it was very, unusual. And so I was lucky that I did have a good derm that she right away was like, no.
So let's get into the nitty gritty of your routine.
Again, it was kind of a long journey.
Yes.
I think the first thing I started to realize was I couldn't use products with a lot of fragrance.
Mm.
I know people say that like sensitive skin isn't really a skin type, but that honestly is the thing you have to address first, because I couldn't use like an SPF. And
Mhm.
a lot of those aren't scented. I couldn't use
Yeah.
some face washes because like literally the fragrance would sting and everything would just start back up again with the rosacea. And then, transversely with the hormonal acne, dealing with when that was going to pop up and trying to track your cycles. I use apps to help me out with a lot of these things. And there was a lot of trial and error, but I have to give a lot of credit to the Trove skincare app. It's free, which I love. And so it's a really good way. I think it was James Welsh. I got super into watching his skincare videos.
Yes.
And he deals with rosacea and sensitive skin as well. So I thought it was a good place for me to start. And he recommended that. So starting there, I was able to really track what I was using and seeing the results, because you can take pictures of your skin every day. And it has a little thing where it tells you if your skin's gotten better or worse. It's really kind of cute. It has like a little, like it processes your pictures and it's like, oh, your skincare has gone up this many points. So it's really kind of neat. And then you get to track the products you're using and click on like, I use these products, and I could see over the weeks like, okay, I like, oh, there's a bump here. Let me go back in these pictures and see, yeah, okay, this happened, 3 weeks ago, okay, cycle time. So this is not working. Like I got to figure out something else. And so those were huge for me, getting those apps kind of together. And then I think I was saying to you in my notes that the biggest thing I realized was my skincare was, my skin barrier was damaged. Really, that was the ultimately, once you figure that out, and that goes hand in hand with the skin sensitivity. And then after that, figuring out the maskne routine, and then really the way I got control over the cystic acne, because that is, the maskne was tough, but that was like a new pimple every week kind of a thing, or every day kind of a thing. And it's like, oh my gosh, so it's quick. So it feels like it can go away a little quicker. The cystic acne, boy, oh boy, those, even though maybe one, oh, you can feel them coming like 3 or 4 days in advance, and then they stay for another 3 or 4 days, then they come to a head like a week later. It's just like, then by the time you get it down, you're dealing with the dark spot, another one comes. It's like the constant. So I found that I had to get my wellness together, kind of like mental health, physical body, everything kind of pulled together, eating. And so kind of those three areas pulled together really helped me get my skincare routine together.
I don't know how often I say it, but I know I've said it in the past for sure, that it's a good idea for people to document the skin journey, picture, video, what have you. And the thing is, sometimes it can be really hard because when you feel like your skin is maybe like at its worst, and at its worst can be subjective to so many different people. Sometimes it's hard even to kind of like even look at your reflection.
Yeah.
But I still encourage people to kind of try to push through that and document it because you're able to see your progress. Because otherwise, without that, it's like watching water boil. It's like you're never gonna like. And the thing is, I like to celebrate small wins, and when it comes to your skin, you definitely have to celebrate those small wins. Like, yeah, I put sunscreen on. That's a small win. Today I actually, took my makeup off before bed. That's a small win. So I like that you documented your progress. But what was like your morning routine like when you were treating your acne and the hyperpigmentation? It's like what products?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would say the hyperpigmentation, just the whole face, because like the rosacea, the hyperpigmentation, the sickness, acne, the mask, it all was just, it came to like a full head, like I said, around fall 2020. And I started to get some things into place. It's like December, and from then to now, I've seen just a huge improvement. I think one of the biggest things that really helped was finding Pharrell Williams' skincare routine, Human Race.
Oh,
yeah. I actually adore it, and I adore every part of that skincare routine. It took me some time. I had to work up to it because with the rosacea, the irritation, and a lot of his products have some more exfoliation. It's so used, the label is gone on it. This is the rice powder cleanser. I learned I can't do a lot of foamings. Just the foaming in it irritates my skin.
Something the surfactants or something probably,
yeah. And so this doesn't really foam that much. It kind of gets a little like pasty almost. So I would use this in the morning, or I would use, based on how my skin would feel, I would use the Ordinary Squalene cleanser, which I also love. This is great, but then sometimes you start to feel like, oh, my skin feels a little like a little rough or dry, and sometimes that can be a product of the rosacea kind of going through its process and like almost like it dries up. It's really unusual. And so these were my morning kind of cleanser things I would use. And then I would go into my serums. Now I really don't have a lot of serums. I just have two that I use, but niacinamide is just wonderful. This is the Ordinary. And I just felt like it, especially with kind of the hormonal acne, would help it's mostly in my chin area. It would help that area just to get kind of, what's the right word? Just the pores to kind of be, I guess, cleaned out a little bit. They weren't as like congested, I think. So then when the hormonal acne started to come through, it was like, oh, okay, I can deal with this one bump by itself. I'm not dealing with like the congestion. Plus this is here, it can't get through. It's like not coming to a head. And so this was really big. And it also helped big with the mask me. And so I would just like literally take a drop, and I still use this till today. It's awesome. And then from there, this is sometimes with my, I get to like my treating phase. Sometimes with the rosacea, the cream, the Metro cream, it's really great, and this is prescribed, by the doctor. Sometimes it's a little like too thick, and if that day maybe you want to wear makeup or do something fancy, it can be a little, I don't know, like it makes almost like a little cast. And so I found this is Peter Thomas Roth. It's just a mask, a cucumber gel mask. I rarely wash this off. I just take a dab and dab it on, and it helps like right away. The skin calms down when I put this on in the morning. It calms everything down with the rosacea right away, which is really nice. And then from there, I go back into treating, vitamin E, active. Sorry, I don't have the actual holder for these, the container they came in, but I would put usually a drop. This is Clean and Clear really simple salicylic acid. This is just my favorite one. I haven't been able to find anything that's better. It's not too drying. I put that on an active maskne situation. There would be all on my little poor cheeks and on an active cystic. And then these under the mask. These are peach slices, acne patches. I've tried a lot of them. I've tried a lot of expensive ones, like Zitsticka, and this is still the best to me. I don't know. These are really inexpensive. You can get them at Ulta for like $8 a pack, and they come in all these sizes. I think I've used the smallest ones. Yeah. And it just felt like I used to feel when I would get like a cystic acne bump, I would almost feel like exposed, especially living in the city and taking the train and stuff. This is, pre-COVID. It's like every dirt particle is coming into my skin, Yeah, these were I love these because you could, especially wearing a mask. My only beef with them is that they are really like white, and I wish they made them like tinted. I was just thinking that, yeah. On our skin, you could definitely see them. So it would be nice if it had just like a little bit of like pink in there, or a little like beige, or a little brown, just so you had different colors. But they're wonderful. You can literally, like when you peel them off at the end of the day, you can literally see where they've kind of like pulled stuff from the pores. It's really wonderful. And especially if you have like a open sore, you kind of want to like, I don't know, I feel like, you poor baby, like you need to be covered and protected. And so this feels just like the utmost protection. And I love this. And then I get to my, that's kind of the end of my treat phase in the mornings. And then I got to, this is Super Goop, because he's new. I was using CeraVe. CeraVe, this is the SPF. I mean, it makes you look a little pasty, but I was, again, back to the this is the only thing that didn't either cause more maskne, break out my cystic acne, or irritate my rosacea. This is the only thing that I could reapply over and over again. So I was just like, I probably put a little less on than is recommended, but I would apply it frequently. So I feel like throughout the course of the day, I got my coverage, and it really did help a lot. So I'm trying to move away from it now some, because I'm like, I'm not in the dire situation I was before, and you do look like a ghost. You look like a ghost. Like, I just have to say. And then it like stays. Like I always don't rub it in well, like by my temples, and there's like a white line. It looks like your like lace front is like not glued on properly. So I'm like, well, yeah. It's I can't believe I forgot. Did I even put before I sunscreen, this is it. This is the, like, if you're having skin barrier issues and rosacea, and your skin is sensitive, and everything either breaks out, you're like this. It's this. At least for me, this solved something. I really understood what repairing my skin barrier was after using this. It is just, I love this product so much.
That's the moisturizer, right?
This is the moisturizer. Sorry for human race. It's I think it's a humectant, and it's I think it's got like some type of like snow mushrooms. Yeah. And more squalene. And on the side here it says let me see if you can see. It says soothe, which I just love. I
tried that line, and I did remember liking the moisturizer.
Yeah, this moisturizer, like I said, the other pieces you kind of have to work your way up to them, but this really is just brilliant. And I remember putting this on and having a particularly bad, I had a hyperpigmentation all over my chin and cheeks, and new stuff coming up, and old stuff I was dealing with, and sensitivity here. And I put this on, and it didn't sting. And I was like, what? And I could put as much on as I wanted. When I first got a hold of this, my husband got it at the launch in December. He got it for me for Christmas. I signed up right away for the refills, and I went through 2 a month. I went through so many, and that is really what it took to get my skin barrier back under control. Yeah. All this other stuff is cute. All this other stuff is cute. Right.
But
this was like, the MVP right here. It's like, okay, everybody step away. If I had only one thing to take, I would just wash my face with water and this, honestly. And
yeah. If I remember correctly, that was like really creamy, but it doesn't feel heavy. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's very like yeah, it's very, I don't know if you can see, like kind of thick in a way that, but you can just, it just goes right, and your skin is immediately like hydrated. It's so nice. And you could just, I just take a dollop and I just keep putting it on and putting it on and putting it on and putting it on. You just can't have enough of it. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I almost left you out. Like, you're so important. I don't know. Yeah, so that was my morning routine. And then I mean, I guess I should go a little bit into my hyperpigmentation in that part of the routine is physical, like SPF. And I don't mean like a cream. I mean like this hat I would wear. I would wear it literally. You know, it's like big hair proofs. It's like a visor, and I have a couple of these. You just have to be careful if you have rosacea for the don't let it like rub too much because that has irritated me. But this has been great. Like having this on, and then having on I love Uniqlo has these really great masks that have UV ray protection, and so it covers over all my problem areas. So I would wear these out like relentlessly, and I think that helped tremendously because you know, you go out, you get a tan, and you think like, oh, I look great because my skin looks even, and the tan fades, and you're like, whoa, I'm still left with these hyper now. Pigmented, you know, dark marks. And so that was my morning routine.
Would you say that your rosacea is triggered by sun exposure?
I would say no. I like to be out in the sun a lot. This has been my most indoor year of my life, as most of us probably experience. I'm a big swimmer and like outdoor hiking, you know, like I like to do outside stuff, but what does irritate it is like exasperates it a little bit is exercise. And then what exasperates it immensely is stress. I think that if I had a stress-free life, I don't think I would have any rosacea at all. And then it's just products and stuff irritate it extra. But I don't think any product per se really created my rosacea problem. I wish it was just as simple as like, oh, I can't eat spicy food. Well, I don't want that to happen because I love spicy food, but I wish it was that easy. But yeah, it's more so like stress, really stress-induced rosacea for sure for me. And then, like I said, exercise does sometimes irritate it a bit. Everything's probably the same. I just use a little less product. I'm pretty heavy-handed. I just put a lot of everything on, lotion, hair cream, whatever it is. And so I no longer go through, sorry, Pharrell, I no longer go through 2 of these a month anymore. Shoot. And it's funny, it's like just that, I'm still on my first exfoliator by then, which I use for my nighttime routine. I'm still on my only second facial cleanser with them, but it was something about that. Whew, I'm just in love.
What do you typically do for your nighttime routine?
Yeah, nighttime is not too much different. I do pretty much everything the same, but an exfoliator every once in a while. So this is the Lotus enzyme exfoliator by Human Race, which is really nice. I did have before this a nice exfoliator I used for a little while. It was by, it's a strawberry scrub, but you know, it was fragranced. And so it started to really wreak havoc. But I feel like if I didn't have rosacea, that one would have been good. This is really creamy. And so that's what's nice. I feel like with that one was a sugar scrub, so it would break down into kind of like an oil, which was nice. And this one's really creamy, which I think is, it's huge for the skin barrier thing. Like everything's got to be a cream with me.
Do you add, I can't remember with that's a powder and you add water to it, or is it already?
Oh, no, that's the
cleanser. Add water. So that
the cleanser, like, throw it in there.
Yeah. So that one, I think I remember, it's almost like it's like a hybrid chemical physical exfoliant, right?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Yeah, it's got, let me see, they always write funny things on the side. I think because of the enzymes, and it's got fruit AHAs and glycolic acid, a small amount, 8% and 2%. And then it's got just these tiny little beads. Pharrell's big on exfoliation, which I thought maybe wouldn't be great for me. But then I thought, he looks amazing. So what am I talking about?
Right.
Let me
How often would you say you use that? Do you use it every night or just a couple times a week?
Oh no. Yeah, maybe twice a week.
Okay.
Maybe twice a week. Yeah. I have to be very choice with my exfoliation because with sensitive skin, everything's exfoliation. That morning cleansers. Like, that's why I do this at night. If I use, I'll get into some of my tools in a bit. That's exfoliation. So I can't exfoliate that day because that's exfoliator. The salicylic acid is an exfoliator. So you have to start to be cognizant of that. And the way I kept track of that at first, honestly, was just reminders on my phone.
My phone. That's really smart.
I would say, I know it sounds like, I don't know, I feel like it sounds silly, but I'd be like, you could use vitamin C today. And then, put in a reminder.
No, that's really smart.
Now you can use niacinamide.
Right, because a lot of people like try to commit this to memory and it's not easy. That's really smart. Like me, if it's not in my phone, it's not happening.
I can't remember. I have to, that is just part of my brain in general. I like to try to multitask a lot of things, and I have to use apps. Like I have to in order to like really get it done. And so that's a big part of it. And then let me see. I also so then for my serums, how did you guys get over here? I like how I'm talking to them. These are like my friends. I spend so much time with them.
They do so good for your skin. They have to be.
Again, The Ordinary. I love The Ordinary also. That's another brand I would say under the human race I really, really like. You can see now I have a couple of their products. But this is their, I think it's vitamin C essentially. It's ascorbic acid, alpha arbutyl. So, and I got this from, excuse me if I butcher her name, I think it's Dr. Vanita Rattan, I think. Dr. V. She's great. She was one of the first like dermatologists I could find that was like a person of color that also treated people of color, skincare, and was like talking about hyperpigmentation. And it was huge for me. So I've been using this for some time now. And I think the biggest thing with both of these is you gotta give them some time.
Yeah.
A couple months. For me, I didn't really see fast results from these items, but I know now because if I take a week off or so, you can see the difference. So these are big, and again, I just put 2 little drops on my cheeks and let it run down, especially with the hyperpigmentation. I will sometimes avoid this over my rosacea, over my forehead. I will sometimes avoid this just because you got to be, like I said, you got to pick and choose. And if I want to exfoliate that day, then I know I don't want to go too crazy with the actives. But this product is really good and helpful. And then I will sometimes go back to the Peter Thomas Roth if I need to. But again, it's just for the treatment phase. It'll be a combination of the acne treatments, the rosacea treatments. But another couple of holy grail products I would say are for my terrible, for the cystic acne, for those poor people like me that suffer from it, this is like the only thing that you can do. It's just, you put this on and the next day it's like 50% smaller or it's gone. It's really great, so you can get to the treating of the hyperpigmentation, which is inevitable. So this is huge. I try not to use it. I think I told you I'm a reformed picker. So I would sometimes be tempted to try to pick if I'd see like, it can be busted a little bit. I would put it, but it stings so bad. So it's better to use it on, closed acne. But this is a big one. You put it on, and then be careful with your bedding.
Yeah.
My bedding is like gray and pink, so it doesn't bother it too much, but I don't know about bright colors. You have like pink streaks on everything. You're like, what's happening? This is something I'm like, I don't know, slightly embarrassed about it just because I know it's just hydroquinone, but it's this Ambi Fade Cream.
Listen, hydroquinone, I feel like it gets such a bad rep. The sad thing though is because I don't know if it's because it gets a bad rep or that people were using it incorrectly, but we can't get it over the counter anymore in the US. You have to now go to a dermatologist to get prescription to get hydroquinone.
Oh,
Yep.
really? Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, so
It's new. It's new within like I would
yeah.
say within the last 3 weeks.
Okay, I'm like I'm gonna hold on to this.
Yeah, yeah.
No, 'cause
No,
this
but that 2%
thing.
hydroquinone, when used correctly, can do some
Yeah,
wonders. Yeah.
it's sparingly. I mean, this is a holy grail product. I mean, I had I don't even know what I did. It was picking and again, just not being out in the sun as much. And I think I really realized how badly I hyperpigment. I mean, it's like if I try to squeeze just a little bit and I get my nails involved, even one time I can feel, oh, and I'm like, oh, that's going to be a bruise tomorrow. It's going to be like hyperpigment. I can feel it. And the next day I'm like, here we are. Like,
Yep.
exactly. I didn't realize it was so bad, but I think it's literally from being inside your skin needs vitamin D to help it, get that melanin production and protect itself. And so looking forward to being outside more hopefully now, but this was wonderful. So I had just like a huge like a bar across my chin, like a barcode, and I think like 2 or 3 weeks it was gone. Gone, like gone. I know I sent you some of my pictures. You'll see in my next month picture, it's gone. Like it's completely gone. I can only, I mean, I had a scar from a fatal curling iron accident when I used curling irons literally like 10 years ago. It was right here. Yeah, like I was curling it at Sal. Oh. And but it was like a dark little scar here forever. When I first put this on, and it broke the scar up right. I mean, so I don't know what to say about this other than it's a miracle. And you have to use it carefully because I did go a little crazy on these sides at one point. I can't remember which side it was, but there was like you get to a point where the hyperpigmentation is going to have to go kind of through its course, and this won't help as much. You have to, I think, get it from the inside almost, and there would be like a little white circle around the hyperpigmentation, and I was like, okay, it's time to stop now. But then that healed, so I just love this product. It's the best. Like at night, I go home looking like a Dalmatian every night. My husband's like, "Oh, okay, well,
like, all right, this is what we getting into tonight."
Like, what prickles? Interesting. So those are the products that I add into my nighttime routine, really, and they're wonderful. And it's just like, again, I can't say enough about this human race product, but I would wake up and my skin would be like parched or dry, and you wake up and it's dewy, it bounces and it's fresh looking, and it's everything. It's really wonderful. So to sleep with that on, it's like its own mask. Really, it's really, really great.
Hi again. I was so excited to meet Danielle. I forgot about like 4 key ingredients or products in my routine, and they were sitting right there the whole time. So I'm going to share them now. The first thing is, this is just the mask that I use. It's from Uniqlo. I love this mask. It's triple layered and offers UV protection. But I change these masks out about every 3 hours, or I did when my mask was at its height, which meant my hyperpigmentation was at its height. And I still make sure I change these masks after I eat lunch. I read somewhere that when the doctors and nurses are in surgery, they change these out like every 15 to 30 minutes because it traps a lot of bacteria under your skin from your mouth. So after lunch, I chew a stick of gum, help with the bacteria production, and I will change these masks. And that has helped immensely because the bacteria then gets on your skin and it gets in your pores, and yeah, you know what happens after that. Next, this is my post-workout facial wash. Purity by Philosophy is extremely gentle, so it doesn't irritate my rosacea, but it's more clarifying than my cream cleansers. So I love this post-workout. It is absolutely wonderful. Next, this is another cleanser I love. This is my Clinique Take the Day Off cleanser. I use this after wearing makeup. I have sensitive skin, and I'm an actress, so sometimes I have to wear makeup for long periods of time throughout the day. And after having people touching you up with old makeup underneath and brushes, my skin will be irritated. So this keeps me from having to tug at my skin again to take the makeup off. It just melts right off. So I love this product. My skin feels so hydrated and soft afterwards. Doesn't feel irritated at all. It's wonderful. And then last but not least, I can't believe I didn't mention this. This is why I'm here. Because of this right here. This is one of the key Holy Grail tools. This is a PMD Clean. It is wonderful. I use my vitamin C Ordinary. I put 3 drops on the back, which is the massager, and I would massage my terrible, terrible scarring on my cheeks from the masked knee and my cystic acne. And this is amazing. I bought this product just simply based off of a statement my aunt made years ago when I was a kid about having scars, and people of color should take cocoa butter and rub it into the scar if it's fresh to help reduce the melanin production, overproduction, I should say, that causes the hyperpigmentation. And this proved it to be true. I did some research, and this really proved it to be true. That barcode I had on my chin I was talking about earlier, the barcode of like hyperpigmentation, this, the Ambi-Fade cream, erased it in way under a month, like 2.5, 3 weeks. It was wonderful. So yeah, so those are my last items. Thank you again, Danielle, for giving us all this platform to learn from each other, and I hope this video was helpful for someone out there.
Like I told y'all, like you know, this is my favorite series for a reason. I just love chatting with you guys. And as I mentioned before, if you would like to come on the channel and talk to us about how you got rid of your hyperpigmentation, please make sure you check out the description box, because there'll be information on what you need to do to contact me so we can get this on. Thanks so much to Whitney for coming on the channel and talking to us about what she did with her skincare routine, how she was able to fade her hyperpigmentation. Also, make sure you check out the description box because it'll be linked to videos. I did one with Dr. Alexis where we talked about, you know, the actives that you need for hyperpigmentation. We also did a video on the truth about hyperpigmentation because there's a lot of fallacies going out there, so we got y'all with the truth. And then of course, check out the other videos in this series. I think you will learn a lot when it comes to hyperpigmentation. And make sure you check out my mistakes video, because there's some stuff that y'all need to stop doing when it comes to your hyperpigmentation. So check that out. Follow me on social. The links will be in the description box. There will also be links on where you can find Whitney. Let's encourage her, because I feel like she needs to have a YouTube channel, because Whitney just, you know, encourage her. And hi, Whitney. How you doing, girl? Start that channel. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.